What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, and welcome back to another Tottenham update. Obviously, the transfer window is wide open, so we've got some rumours, some news, and some just general chit-chat to talk about today. Let's start off with Dan Kilpatrick, obviously 1.5 tier source from the Spurs Express. The first one from him, we're going to talk about Giovanni Lo Celso, and he's claimed that Giovanni has come out with his hamstring injury, as Jose has confirmed today, and reportedly going to be out until the rest of January. I mean, that's a big miss, isn't it?
That's a big blow, and he was just starting to get back in the swing of things as well, and that injury is a massive blow, and he's picked up a few injuries this season as well, which has hampered his progress. I don't like, look, I know he's had a few injuries, but I don't like what I see on social media of people going, oh, such a waste of money, bin him, let's just get rid, sign someone else. It's like, just calm down. Everyone needs to calm down.
I haven't seen that, to be honest.
I've seen quite a bit of it on social media.
These reactionary people,
just annoy me. I know.
Celso,
I shouldn't read it. I shouldn't react to it.
You know what I mean? I've stopped reading Twitter a long time ago just because
right.
of this kind of stuff. It's just all complete bollocks.
Yeah, it's so true. It's all rubbish, these people. But I'm telling you, these players, they read that stuff. They read social media now. All these young players, all these players have social media. So, like, it can definitely have an effect, I think.
At the end of the day, if you're a professional, you've got to kind of just let that go over your head, kind of thing.
No, you should, but I'm just saying it can have an effect because they read it. But yeah, look, it's a big blow. It could bring Dele back in the team and give him a chance to get some more game time. But it was working well with him rotating on Dele and stuff. And it's just a bit of a shame that he's not going to be available now. And hopefully he comes back in February, fit and firing, so we're going to need him. But it's just it's a big blow.
Big games he's going to be missing. Liverpool game, Sheffield United, Villa, Marine, Brighton. You know what I mean? I know there's quite a few, what you say, on paper winnable games there, but still, every game's massive this month.
Hopefully he comes back sooner than expected. We haven't really had it confirmed officially how long he's going to be out for, but that's what Dan Kilpatrick was saying. He's going to miss the whole of January. And who knows, maybe he's going to miss more, but hopefully not. But yeah, he did seem to pull his hamstring when that happened against Leicester. So it didn't look good at the start, and so it's proven.
All right, let's move on to some more news from Dan Kilpatrick. And he says that Tottenham are yet to enter contract negotiations with Hugo Lloris, who only has 18 months left on his current deal. Mauricio Pochettino's PSG are interested in the goalkeeper. I mean, this doesn't bode well, as Lloris has once said that he'll follow Pochettino anywhere he goes.
Yeah, he did say that, and he has been here a long time now, so maybe he might think he might want to change the scenery for the latter part of his career. Maybe he does want to finish in France. He might want to. He might want to just be at PSG for a few years. I wouldn't hold it against him. And it'll just mean we have to sign a keeper, which would be a bit frustrating because he's been such a good servant. But I hope we can sign a contract. I hope he can stay for a few more years. But look, if it ends up he leaves, and we have to sign someone to replace him. It's not the end of the world, but because he's getting on a bit, and even though he's our captain,
34 years old.
Yeah, so even though he's our captain and he's he's getting on a bit, so it's not the end of the world to buy a new keeper. But he's been so good, especially since lockdown. Since his injury, he's been one of the best in the league. So it'll be a big blow for him to leave.
Who would you say we can get that's even comparable to Hugo Lloris?
I'm sure. Look, being number one keeper at Tottenham is probably an attractive prospect for a lot of keepers. So I wouldn't.
I know Donnarumma's out of contract in the summer.
Look, I wouldn't be worried about finding a replacement. I think we can find a replacement. I really do.
Is there anyone in the Premier League you fancy?
Well, I don't think we can get anyone who is on the level of Lloris now. But we'd have to get someone like Areola who might be able to, blossom into something like Lloris.
Would Donnarumma be an option?
I'd hope so, but I don't know. I I feel like he has bigger fish eyed up.
Maybe.
He could be. He's very young. He's
only 21.
He is very young. He'll probably sign again for Milan. We'll have to wait and see. But he is very, very young. So he might be someone who we'll look at. But I feel like someone like Areola might be something in the ballpark we'll look at. I'm not in the Premier League. Who else would I look at? Not many.
Maybe take Dean Henderson off United because he's not getting any game time there.
Could take Dean Henderson, but I don't know. Maybe.
A lot of press has been claiming that we're interested in the West Brom keeper, Johnston.
I wouldn't want him. He seems like, although he was good in his day, he seems like Paul Robinson a bit. Sam Johnston, who's good for a mid-table team, but
Darlow.
No. I don't look, I think he's look, I'm not saying he's bad. I wouldn't want him to be my number one.
All right, let's move on. Miguel Delaney claimed a couple of days ago that Tottenham have started talks with Harry Kane over signing a new and improved contract, but those talks have been cold water on it, as Dan Kilpatrick has claimed that Tottenham have put non-urgent contract talks, including Harry Kane and Heung-min Son, both on hold, with the current financial situation remaining unclear.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a bit of a worry to me.
It makes sense.
I mean, it's just a worry that they're not being knuckled down, and this whole Heung-min Son contract deal has been going on for so long now.
Has been. It's not like he's about to run out.
Yeah. But
he deserves improvement. Him and Kane both deserve an improved contract, so I hope they get that wrapped up. But look, I don't think it's anything to be worried about. I think I agree with Levy in terms of he doesn't know when fans are going to be back, and it's so much uncertainty. I would still offer him the contracts, because whatever the situation, you're going to need those two players, whatever.
Exactly.
So, but the thing is, they've both got long time left on their contract, so unless it's going to demotivate them to not have a new contract right now, I think it makes sense to just delay it a tiny bit. But hopefully it'll
just happen in the summer.
Yeah, or as soon as possible, really. But I think, or maybe once we know when fans are going to be back, and then he can start making plans. But it's a bit of a shame that because we really thought Son was going to be wrapped up by now, but that's not going to happen, looks like. But I think it makes sense. Levy knows what he's doing from a financial point of view. He always has.
Yeah, let's move on to Sky Sports. They're a tier 2 from the Spurs Express, and they're saying that Benfica want Gedson Fernandes to return from his loan spell at Tottenham. They want him to return 6 months earlier than originally agreed. Just as he was getting back into the team.
Yeah, exactly. It's the first time in the squad since like September or something against Leeds. But yeah, look, this one we kind of know it's going to be coming to an end. It's happening like slowly, like a slow death. This loan spell,
it's a slow burner, isn't it?
And I think they've got a new manager in charge, so maybe he can find more. He'll be in favour there. He's been speaking very positive about Gedson as well. So I think it just makes sense for all parties. He's not getting anywhere near the team at the moment, and I think it makes sense just send him back to Benfica, and I think that's just what has to happen. I think at this point, because it's no good for him just wallowing away in our reserves, and I don't think he deserves that. Despite maybe not having the best spell here, I don't think he's really had a chance to prove himself.
A player of his age needs to be playing.
He hasn't had a chance here.
No, but I'm saying a player of his age, trying to work his way into his world of football, they just need to be playing regular football to see what they're all about.
Yeah, I feel bad for him because he just hasn't had a chance since he's come to Spurs. He's yet.
Where does he fit in?
He's yet to start a Premier League game.
Yeah,
he's yet to start one. So you can't really blame him for having an awful loan spell. He just hasn't been given an opportunity. Mourinho hasn't given him that opportunity, and when he has, he's mostly played on the right hand side or not.
And that's
his
why he wants
position.
to leave Benfica.
Well, yeah, or on the left hand side, he was terrible on the left hand side. That's for sure.
I mean, his best performance for us was probably the pre-season at right back.
Oh no, he played quite well against Chelsea, I remember, in the cup game.
Yeah, but that pre-season at right back, he was quality.
He was great for one game, but then and then awful the next one.
Yeah.
So look, it's just one that hasn't worked out, and thankfully it was only a loan because there was rumours we were going to buy him. So it is what it is. Thankfully we can just cut ties and not much is lost. But it's just a shame he didn't really get a chance.
All right, let's move on to this source's Foot Mercato, a 3.5 tier source from the Spurs Express, and they claim that Pochettino has contacted Dele Alli with the midfielder interested in joining PSG. There is regular contact between Dele's entourage and PSG's sporting director, but Sky Sports have poured cold water on that one, as they are claiming that Tottenham are not looking to sell or loan Dele Alli this January, and they expect him to fight for his place in the squad, and I'm guessing that is all to do with the Giovanni Lo Celso news.
Yeah, so it's definitely got something to do with the Lo Celso news because he's out for the whole of January and he's got a real good opportunity now to stake a claim for a first team spot because with Ndombele usually rotating with Lo Celso, in theory it should be Dele now. So
he's actually one injury away from Ndombele to being a starter.
That's the thing with this squad. Yeah, things can change very, very quickly. If you're out the team, a few injuries, especially this season when so many teams being affected by injuries, the fringe players are going to have a big, big effect. So Dele, if he grabs this chance with both hands, he could really be a big fixture from now to the end of the season if he really has a good time of it. So he's got to see this as an opportunity and a real chance to impress Jose. And look, if we're fighting for big things, he's going to want to be part of that. I hope so. I hope
Jose gives him the opportunity opportunity he deserves, because he seems to be treated a tiny bit unfairly this season.
Well, we don't know if he deserves it. That's the thing.
Yeah,
you say that he deserves it based on the quality he has, but based on what he's shown.
Also, what we've seen on the pitch the last couple of games has been all right from him. It's not been anything too bad.
Yeah, he does seem to be treated harshly, but we don't know what he's like behind the scenes. Is he still lazy training? I don't know. So, Jose knows him best, and if he thinks that's the best way to treat him, then I guess we have to go with it at the moment. But I hope he does get an opportunity, and I hope he takes it, because there's a good chance for him. And we've got a lot of games now, and I'm pretty sure he's going to have the part to play in the whole, especially the whole January. Yeah. I reckon he gets a few starts, so he's got to take this opportunity, and I hope he does. And if he does, then we could have that player who we've been saying needs to start helping Kane and Son with goals, because we know he can score goals when he's on form.
Yeah. A guy at his age, 24 years old, 50 Premier League goals at this age is no mean feat.
Exactly.
What I mean?
And I think it makes sense for us not to entertain loans at the moment, because I think maybe transfers we can entertain if there's a good fee, but I think loans doesn't make sense for us at the moment.
I mean, the only reason it makes sense is, first of all, it doesn't make sense with our current injury predicament. That makes no sense whatsoever. But take that away, the only way it makes sense is to send him on a loan is to get his price back up.
Yeah,
that's the only reason it makes sense.
I know, but because of our injury thing, it just doesn't. Loan deal doesn't make sense right now.
All right, let's move on to the last story of the day. And Heung-min Son has won Best Asian Footballer Award for the 4th year in a row. The plaudits keep coming in for our Heung-min Son. And Gary Neville...
Who's his competition?
Huh?
Who's his competition?
Who knows? It doesn't really matter at this stage. The important thing is that he's won it 4 years in a row. And Gary Neville has come out with a brilliant quote, actually. And he says, Son, he's a player that would walk into any starting 11 in the world, any starting 11. I don't care who that team is. I don't hold back. He's absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, I think he really has, especially this season, turned into a proper elite player with his finishing. We all knew that he has that ability with both feet, and he works so hard. And I don't think there's a better two-footed player in the league, apart from arguably Harry Kane, who's also very two-footed. But I think Son, his distribution between how he scores the goals, I don't think there's a player in the Premier League who's as lethal on both feet as Son is, and his finishing is second to none. And now he's literally doing it week in, week out. One of the top goal scorers in the league, and the way his attitude, the way he works, there are very few wingers like him, and we've done very well to have him blossom into the player he's become. And I agree. I think especially if you look at the teams right now, Barca don't really have a settled front three, neither do Madrid or Juve. I think he can get into all those teams right now, and I think he's absolutely spot on.
Can you think of a left winger in the world that's better than him at the moment?
On form, no.
Because you can say Mane is comparable, but this season I'd say Son's been better than Mane.
And on form, I think this season on form for sure, Son is the best left winger in the world. You can't. The way it's ridiculous. The way he's finishing, it's like a joke.
Yeah. The
50% or so, 45% finishing
What
rate.
about Premier League history?
What? How many better left wingers have there been in Premier League history? Maybe I'd go. In history, I'd say Mane's probably just ahead of him. Mm-hmm. I would say Hazard. I'll probably put just ahead of him. Ronaldo, he was a left winger when he was at United. So there's a few.
Giggs,
you'd have to put him there.
The thing is with the one with Giggs, you would say Giggs is up there, the best left backs the Premier League has ever seen.
Left mids.
Or left mids, yeah. A left winger, left mids, whatever. But I think it's mainly, look, he was a class player, there's no two ways about it, but I don't think he ever showed the levels that Son is showing this season. The thing is about Giggs is his was more about kind of sustainability and longevity.
Yeah, that was Giggs' main thing, and the way he reinvented himself time after time throughout his career, which was the most outstanding thing. He wasn't like the most outstanding player in the Premier League. He was just so good. He was just playing at a really high standard for such a long time. That's what was the most impressive thing. But no,
put Robert Pires up there as well.
Yeah, maybe if he didn't dive so much.
I actually looked at the stats. I was weighing up him against Robert Pires yesterday, and Robert Pires was at Arsenal for 6 years. Son's been at Spurs for 6 years now, and their stats actually are very, very similar. They've both scored around 60 Premier League goals in that time. So there's definitely comparisons to be made there.
Yeah, I guess. But I think in terms of quality, there are very few. that can match up. And also, you look at he's scored 100 goals for Spurs. If you go through those 100 goals, the quality of those goals are such high standard. So he doesn't do tap-ins, Son. He does not do tap-ins. The amount of goals he gets from outside the box, really tight finishes, it's incredible. His finishing is honestly elite at the moment, proper elite.
I think if Son has a season like he is having now for the rest of the season and next season, I put him up there, probably just behind Cristiano Ronaldo as the best left winger the Premier League has ever seen.
Yeah, you could argue that. I think Mane
better than Hazard. I think better than Mane.
I think more than Mane. He's won the league, and he's had a couple of seasons where he's got 20+ goals. So Son needs to do that.
Yeah.
But I think he's on the way to doing it this season. And if we can get a few trophies in the bag, then I think you might have a case.
All right, so there you have it. That is the Tottenham update for today. Let me know your thoughts regarding anything that we spoke about in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always,
Come on, you Spurs.